his top bats is Benny Casillas, and he's here to lead things off on this Sunday morning here in Lincoln. It's beautiful 84 degrees already on this Mother's Day. Brockett, the lefties, first pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Travis Reininger is the home plate umpire. John Coons is at first. Second base umpire is Chris Koski. And at third, it's Doug Williams. This one bounces in the dirt. Casillas hitting .414. 3 home runs, 35 runs batted in. This one bounced fouled on the third base side. Brockett jumps ahead 1-2.
Yeah, and this first matchup with Casillas is a big one. One of the best bats in the entire conference. He's up in the top 5 in batting average and hits.
Brockett's 1-2. Looks like fouled off the mitt of the catcher Haligso. Nebraska defensively, Gabe Swanson in left, Riley Silva's in center, Robbie Bolin in right. Josh Overbeek at the hot corner, Dylan Carey at short, Caden Brumbaugh at second, Case Sanderson over at first. Way outside, past the glove of Haligso. Crowd continues to file in on this Sunday morning. Expected high 80s here in downtown Lincoln. Rockets 2-2. Again, fouled off towards the Husker dugout. Barely any wind to talk about. 3 miles per hour out of the south. Rockets 2-2. This one bounced to Sanderson at first, and he'll take it to the bag himself. The leadoff batter retired here in the top of the first.
Yeah, pretty good battle right there between Brockett and Casillas, but the Husker starter wins the first one, and I think that's going to be something we need to watch all day long. Second time and third time through, how does Benny Casillas see the baseball? And I'm not sure how long Brockett will be called upon today. Huskers have plenty of arms to go to. They haven't had to use too many in the first 2 games.
Yeah, thanks to the solid starts from Tucker Timmerman and Ty Horn. First pitch to Braden Jeffress. He's in there for a strike. Jeffress hitting .297. Takes the ball downstairs. Doesn't have a home run yet this season, but 16 runs batted in. Just 1 for 7 this series so far, though.
Yeah, he's one of those bats that Michigan, they've relied on this year, but hasn't found much in Lincoln so far.
Brockett able to jump ahead here, 1-2. The lefty's next pitch, fouled off the screen near the Husker dugout. So we'll do it again.
I'm wondering how much energy Michigan's going to come out in with this one, because dropping the first 2 games, you're not necessarily playing for any series competition, but at this point, still up in the middle of the pack in the Big Ten tournament standings at around 5 or 6. And if they take another loss, it starts to get a little bit hairy, dropping below 7.
Swing and a miss as Brockett has his first strikeout of the game, and there's 2 away. Definitely still playing for seeding in the Big Ten tournament. You see Brockett's pitch there.
Yeah, beautiful pitch. Just got him reaching down low. Couldn't find any contact to at least stay alive. And Brockett seems like he's got it cooking so far.
Dealing with the dangerous Mitch Voigt here. Voigt hitting .357, 12 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Brockett's 1-0 pitch is fouled back to the screen.
We talked about the impressive offensive numbers for Michigan. They've got 4 different guys in the order today, all with more than 50 hits on the season. Nebraska only has 2 in their starting lineup with more than 50 hits, so that just goes to show the depth and consistency through the lineup.
Voigt bounces this one to Carey at short. Fields on the run, throws to first in time, and Brockett works a 1-2-3 inning. start at catcher today. On the mound for Michigan, it's Tate Carey.
Yeah, Carey with some really impressive numbers. The ERA is not going to shock you with how good it is at a 3.98, but the 8-0 record with 5 starts on the season, very impressive. He's in the top 5 in Michigan history among freshman wins.
Carey, Silva grounds this one over to second on the first pitch. Voigt able to handle it easily for the first out.
And worth noting as well with the Nebraska lineup, you've got Devin Nunez in there at the DH. No Tyler Stone in this one, of course, dealing with a bit of maybe a hand-wrist type of injury after taking that hit-by-pitch yesterday.
Sounded like there was no structural damage, though. It's just nice bruise on the wrist. So he'll be day-to-day until he can manage the pain there.
And the Huskers, they need his bat back as soon as possible. One of the better home run hitting players on this team.
That brings up Josh Overbeek, who takes ball 1 outside. Overbeek hitting .299, just under 300. Carey's next pitch. That one's low and inside. Overbeek's seen his power numbers rise recently, up to 6 home runs. Hit that first one against Iowa, which was just about a month or so ago.
Yeah, he had a big one earlier this week, too, against Creighton. It's kind of started the scoring late in that game for this Nebraska team.
Lines this one down the right field line. It's going to drop in fair territory and one-hop the wall. Overbeek rounds first. He's headed towards second. He'll stay put there with a 1-out double.
Yeah, right on cue, Josh Overbeek. Nice little line drive. Stayed fair and seemed like he wasn't really sure how many bases he wanted to try. I feel like if he really put his head down, he could have maybe tried for an extra bag, but you're never going to turn down a stand-up double from your 2-hole hitter.
See what the Huskers can do here with a runner in scoring position and just 1 away. Brings up the second baseman, Caden Brumbaugh.
You want to talk about a hot bat. Caden Brumbaugh, he's been almost impossible to sit down into the dugout as over the last few weeks.
Been Nebraska's most consistent hitter all season long. As he lines this one right back to the second baseman, Voigt, who catches it, dives, and reaches for the second base bag for the unassisted double play. A tough line out by Brumbaugh. Beautiful day in downtown Lincoln. There's just a little bit of breeze, but temperature 80 degrees, 34% humidity, and not a cloud in the sky. It's 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Wolverines. It's Jackson Brockett back out there. 16 pitches in the first inning. Throws ball 1 to Miller here. Pops this one fouled on the first baseline. Miller getting the start at catcher today. Spears got the start in yesterday's game, but Miller hitting .277. No home runs, 14 RBIs. This one hit well, though, towards left field, but Swanson coming in a couple of steps, able to make the grab for out number 1.
Yeah, it looked decent for a second off the bat, but just kind of died in midair. I'm not sure what really went wrong on that swing for Noah Miller. Gabe Swanson with a pretty routine fly out right there.
Wind blowing ever so slightly in from left, but wouldn't seem to have had an impact on that one.
Yeah, there's not much the wind is going to help today, but with the high temperatures, you wouldn't be surprised if something gets up in the air. It's going to keep going.
First pitch to Jeter Ibarra in there for strike 1. Brockett's done a good job of jumping ahead so far. Some bounce fouled on the first baseline. 0-2. Ibarra was 0 for 3 yesterday. Did have an RBI, though. Just 1 for 7 on the series, though. Brockett's 0-2. Misses upstairs. Good take from Ibarra.
And with Ibarra, you'd like to see Miller get that line drive down for a base hit because Ibarra is extremely dangerous with runners on. Already 45 RBIs on the year.
That one went inside. Just missed Ibarra. I'm not sure it didn't hit him. It's Pretty close to hitting his pant leg, but ball 2, 2-2.
He's a pretty big guy, too. There's not a lot of space to pitch around him.
Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Heligso. Will have to throw down to first. Does so successfully, and Brockett has his second strikeout.
Yeah, Brockett's got it working right now through almost 2 innings. As we see, just got him completely fooled in the dirt right there. Pretty bad swing by Ibarra. He's going to definitely be taking a look at that one on tape.
So quickly 2 away on just 8 pitches. Brings up Cole Caruso. Caruso at the hot corner today. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Brockett. Hitting .288. This one hit well. Deep to left field. Swanson back at the track. The wall, and it's gone. A 2-out home run from Cole Caruso. And Michigan with an early 1-0 lead here in the top of the second.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
So far, Tate Carey, his numbers have looked as expected. The ERA just a hair under 4 on the season. So if he can find a way to work out of this 6th inning and keep it a shutout performance, and if that's all we see from him, this will be one of his more impressive starts of the year.
Of course, had a 7-inning no-hitter as well, though.
Yeah. Some very impressive highs in his freshman campaign as a Wolverine. Wouldn't be surprised if we see his name on some sort of all-conference team selection.
For sure, all-freshman team.
Swanson fouls it back, starts behind 0-1. There's a few guys on this Michigan team that I think certainly will hear their names called on some level of all-conference. Obviously, with Benny Casillas hitting 470 hits, he might be up there around first or second team. So we have just about a week left in the regular season. And this Michigan team still finds itself inside the top 7 of the Big Ten standings. Got to think that will have something to do with the all-conference selections as well, if you're one of the better players on a top 7 team in the conference. 0-2 pitch to Swanson is down and way away. As it looks like the pressure's starting to build for Tate Carey.
Both these teams also start their conference series on Thursday this coming week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, so a little bit less rest. And Michigan's got a midweek game on Tuesday against University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, too.
A sprint to the finish for the Wolverines as Swanson skies this one up shallow right field. Moving back is Mitch Voigt, and he will squeeze it for the first out of the inning. I'm sure Tate Carey loves to see that one come down in the yard rather than leave over the fence for Gabe Swanson, a guy that just keeps crushing homers in May. So 1 down for Case Sanderson now. Middle of the order, still yet to find a hit in this contest. Swanson, Sanderson, and Dylan Carey have only been on base combined 2 times today with a fielder's choice and a walk. Sanderson swings at the first pitch and sends it to the stands. Still a runner in scoring position. That's Josh Overbeek, as Nebraska looks to potentially tie this one up at 1. The work in the Michigan bullpen heating up a little bit, but just 2 outs away from finishing the 6th.
Gotta advance the runner over if you're Nebraska. Had first and second, no outs. Now it's first and second with 1 out. Gotta get Overbeek 90 feet away.
It's interesting to me, we haven't seen any sort of bunt action with 1 out. That's something that Will Bolt coach teams here at Nebraska usually will do in scenarios like this. Think of a guy like Riley Silva, who's one of the best bunters on this Nebraska team. Sanderson hits it foul once again. 95-mile-an-hour in, and it's 0-2.
Gotta think it's because of part of the order that you're at. It was 3, 4, 5. Now we're at 5 hitters, 6 on deck. So these are the guys that are supposed to be driving in the runs with the bat.
Carey's 0-2. Just missed outside. Still a bit of a climb to go to get out of this 6th frame with another goose egg on the scoreboard for Tate Carey. Keeping an eye at second. Here's a 1-2. And Sanderson lifts this one up in the air. Deep to center field, but it's Pace Jr. charging in to make the catch. Looked like he almost misread the distance, but did end up coming down with it.
Overbeek looked like he was going to try and tag as well. Not sure if he was bluffing or not, but if he was going to try and tag, he definitely left early. And I think he realized it as well, so he retreated back to the bag, as you can see here.
So a couple of pop-outs for the Husker offense, and there's 2 down for Dylan Carey. Coming up in a big spot, and in a game like this, such low-scoring options. Seems like this could be a big at-bat. 2 outs, runner in scoring position halfway through in a 1-0 game. First one to Carey is down out of the zone at 81.
Battle of the carries, probably the final time that we're going to be able to see it. But with 2 outs, Huskers will be off on contacts. It doesn't need to be anything too crazy.
Tate Carey on the mound, behind 2-0. I'd say Tate Carey has won today's matchup so far. I mean, Dylan's been on once, but only on a fielder's choice. 2-0, fouled back, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Way outside at 95. And we've got a hitter's count for Dylan Carey.
Gotta think both arms in the bullpen in right field for Michigan are ready. This might be one of the final batters that Tate Carey faces.
Nebraska 2 for 6 today with 2 outs. And Carey lifts this one in the sky, right center field. Pretty deep, but coming under it to make the catch is Jeffress to work out of the 6th inning. How about that from Tate Carey? Give up back-to-back singles to start, and then 3 straight flyouts to finish 6 scoreless frames.
So Miller still 0 for 2, a flyout and a ground out. Takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. Christo got the final 2 outs of the top half of the 6th. Able to get Voigt to strike out. It's like time called before the pitch. Home plate umpire Travis Reininger heads out to talk to Christo, telling him that the batter needs to be paying attention before he pitches. Husker dugout yelling at him. Next pitch upstairs, 2-0. Disgruntled fans. Disappointed that Nebraska hasn't done anything. There's a strike from the outside corner, 2-1. Look at the stats. Nebraska's out hitting Michigan 5-2. They've left 6 base runners on compared to Michigan's 2, yet Michigan leads where it matters. Foul tipped off of the gear of Haligso, 2-2.
It's always interesting seeing the fan reaction to games like this where they're expecting offense, and then about halfway through when they see that it is going to be a pitcher's battle, they start to really bring the energy defensively.
So line towards shallow right field. Bolin, another that's Frost coming in a couple of steps after he pinch hit for Bolin. He puts it away for out number 1.
Now batting the first baseman, number 26, Jeter Ybarra.
The first baseman, Jeter Ybarra, steps up to the plate. Bats from the left side. He's 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch his last time up, but he struck out back in the second inning. Ybarra hits this one well towards center field, but Silva coming in. He's going to lay out, can't get to it. The ball really died. Silva gave a good effort. Couldn't quite get to it, but a 1-out single for Ybarra.
And we'll take another look at this swing. Just kind of got right underneath that pitch. And look at the track down from Riley Silva, just going full extension, as it might take a couple of seconds and a couple of tries to bring the breath into his lungs. I'm sure the wind got knocked out of him in that time.
So Ybarra at first, and Cole Caruso responsible for the only run of the game. Back in the second inning, a solo home run at the plate. Christo's first pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Double barrel action in that Nebraska bullpen. Looks like you got a lefty and a righty. As Coach Rob Childress heads out to the mound. See if this is just discussion with Christo or if he'll motion towards the bullpen. So pitch count obviously not an issue, and looks like they're going to leave Christo in there.
And of course, it is worth mentioning he has pitched in this series already. Had just the 1/3 of an inning against Michigan on Friday, so we'll see how much longer they let him go.
All righties from here on out. So we'd have the matchup advantage until Jeffress comes back up to the plate. Runner off with the pitch, a hit and run. It's flown out to left field where Gabe Swanson able to put it away a couple of feet in front of the warning track as Ybarra retreats back to first, and there's 2 away.
Nebraska pretty lucky that Swanson was right there for it, because Ybarra was about 2 strides away from tapping that second base bag. If that somehow dropped, that would have been maybe another 90 feet as well, with how aggressive he had already taken off.
2 away for Colby Turner. Turner 2 ground outs to short. Takes first pitch, strike at 96. 0-1.
We saw Christo sit down Mitch Voigt last inning, I believe at 97. So he's really been able to turn up the heat to wrap up these frames.
0-1 pitch, a little bit low. That time with the off speed, 1-1. Robbie Hamchuk waits on deck. 1-1 pitch this time. Had Turner out in front, 1-2.
It seems like whatever that quick discussion was up there on the mound, it's working so far.
This one fouled off into the first base berm. We'll do it again. Huskers will have 7, 8, and 9 due up in the bottom half of the 7th. It's Nunez, Frost, and Haligso. Christo's 1-2, swing and a miss. So Haligso able to make the snag, and it's the second strikeout of the game for Drew Christo, and Michigan strands 1.
Really good pitch down low. That's back-to-back innings where Christo has been able to retire the side with a K.
He'll face Nunez to get things started in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch strike on the outside corner at 93. Nunez 0 for 1, a ground out and a walk back in the 5th inning. Strike 2 at the belt as Rogers jumps ahead. Rogers 0-2. That one missed low and outside, 74 on the off speed.
Keep wanting to say it's a quiet day for whoever's coming to the plate for Nebraska, but that's just kind of been the theme overall. I don't want to really single any person out as having, a down day.
Swing and a miss from Nunez. He goes down swinging for the first time today, and Rogers comes in and gets a strikeout to start things off in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, how about that? Come in out of the bullpen and find a nice little pitch that drops out of the zone, and Nunez just missed over the top, completely fooled him with the breaking ball.
Another lefty here in Cale Frost. Frost popped out into foul territory to the first baseman his last time up. Takes this pitch in the dirt, bounces in front of the plate. Frost, the power potential's there. 6 home runs, pinch hit for Robbie Bolin back in the 5th inning. This one misses way outside, 2-0. Frost trying to take advantage of the opportunity that he's been given in this game. Seen those at-bats decrease the last couple of weeks. Swing and a miss behind the fastball. 2-1.
Nebraska could certainly use some hitters off the bench in pinch hit spots like this. We've seen Butenbach do it over the past few weeks, but heading into the postseason, like Big Ten tournament play, having bats you can bring in pitch hit scenarios is huge.
Bouncer to the right side, fielded by Voigt at second. Throws on to first in plenty of time. 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th.
Tough right there with the ground out for Frost. He's 0 for 2 in this one. Not exactly what Coach Bolt was maybe hoping for in that pinch hit spot, but you don't necessarily mind giving him the opportunity.
So now Hogan Haligso. A deep fly out back in the 3rd and singled his last time up in the 5th. See what he can do for an encore here. His first pitch a little bit low, 1-0. Haligso can get on and be back to the top of the order with Riley Silva. That one just missed as well, 2-0. Still a good crowd on hand for now a Sunday afternoon game in the home finale. Popped foul. Back towards the Michigan dugout. 2-1.
The big reason Nebraska's down 1-0 right here is because hits have come from only 3 of the 9 batters today. We've seen it from Silva, a couple from Overbeek. We've seen Haligso. There's just not been much as well. You got one from Brumbaugh. So make it 4 different players with a hit, but just not much has been able to be strung together in these innings.
Between 5 and your 8 hitters, 5, 6, 7, 8. None of them have a hit. So the guys are getting on base ahead of them. They aren't getting knocked home. Haligso had 3-1 though. Rogers pitch, half-hearted swing by Haligso, and didn't go around. Pitch was outside, so Haligso draws a 2-out walk.
That's a tough one for Rogers. You think you're able to work 3 up, 3 down in the 7th, and instead, all of a sudden, you're bringing the top of the order to the plate. And like we said, the middle toward the back of the order hasn't been great today, but a lot of the production has come from the top. So now things become interesting with Will Rogers facing Riley Silva, his 4th time up. We'll see if Silva's in a rhythm and keeps the inning going.
Haligso at first, Silva at the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Silva turns to bunt, pulls back, takes the pitch inside, 1-0. Bunting with 2 outs. Certainly a strategy, but if anyone can do it, it'd probably be Silva.
Yeah, Silva definitely the top bunter on the Husker team. He's just got a knack for laying it down in the perfect spot.
Check on Haligso at first. Silva calls time. Looks to reset here. Disrupt some of Rogers' momentum on the mound. One-0 to Silva, bounced up the middle. Voigt ranging over, it's under his glove. Haligso rounds second. He's going to head to third. Silva's going to stay put at first. Huskers have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
And that's a big play to make. Kind of a tough lean and horizontal movement there by Mitch Voigt. Not sure what they'll score. We'll see it in just a second, but regardless of what it scored, that's a big-time play by Riley Silva. We'll take another look. Just chops it up the middle, puts it in play, and you see Voigt just gets under his glove. That's the second time we've seen him do kind of a backhanded play like that over at second, rather than really square up and get his shoulders over to the ball and field it normally.
I think the bigger deal is that it got away from him. Would have been one thing if he blocked it and kept it on the infield. He would have had first and second, but the fact that it snuck into right field, Haligso was able to take third.
And they do rule it a fielding error over there on Voigt. That's a tough one to give up.
Josh Overbeek at the plate. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1.
Nebraska all series long. They have really made their money, if you will, in innings 7, 8, and 9. Looks like they might have a chance to do it once again in game 3.
0 for 5 with runners in scoring position today. Rogers 1-0 pitch, also inside, 2-0. Caden Brumbaugh waits on deck. To Overbeek, thought about it. Didn't pull the trigger, it's 2-1.
And Overbeek today, he's maybe the top bat you would ask to send to the plate in a big spot like this. 2 for 3 in the contest. And he's proven some pretty strong power in this one too.
2-1 pitch, line towards center field, and it's gonna drop in there for a base hit. Haligso scores. Silva rounding second, he's at third. And Josh Overbeek, a big 2-out single, and we're tied at 1 in the 7th.
It's back-to-back innings for Josh Overbeek with a base hit, and he has been the key today. We see the pitch again, and he just squares it up, puts it in play, and Overbeek coming through once again for Nebraska. His bat has been crucial during this late season push that the Huskers have been on.
Now a chance for Nebraska to take the lead. Again, runners on the corners. Silva at third, Overbeek at first. And Caden Brumbaugh at the plate.
We talked about the potential detriment of walking Hogan Haligso at the bottom of the order. It turns the lineup over, and now we're seeing the result. Really tough for Will Rogers in the 7th.
Brumbaugh takes first pitch outside, 1-0. 2-out walk to Haligso. Extended the inning, and Nebraska's done all of this, of course, with those 2 outs.
And even after that, you've got the fielding error that put Riley Silva on base, and he currently sits just 90 feet from scoring.
Brumbaugh pops this one up into shallow right field. Towards the line is the right fielder Jeffress, and he makes the grab in fair territory to end the inning. But the Huskers get a run on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and they leave 2 as we head to inning number 8. Looks like it might be Keegan O'Hearn. It is O'Hearn. Has played in this series. He's 1 for 7. He was 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. First pitch from Drew Christo on the outside corner, 0-1. O'Hearn, a two-way player, also does some pitching as well. Christo's 0-1, bounces in the dirt. Good snag by Haligso, 1-1. Swinging and a miss from O'Hearn. Over the off speed from Christo, 1-2. The O'Hearn, Greg Pace Jr. and Benjamin Casillas, 8-9-1. 1-2 pitch, bounces in the dirt again.
For O'Hearn, it's been a little bit tough this year at the plate. 10 strikeouts in less than 30 at-bats.
Just missed outside. Huskers wanted that one. 3-2. Christo's payoff pitch, same spot, same result. Just off the plate is barking from the Husker dugout. A lead-off walk drawn by Keegan O'Hearn.
That's pretty good discipline at the plate, taking back-to-back pitches that the home crowd at least thought could have clipped the zone. Solid outing right there by O'Hearn at the plate.
Leadoff runner on for Michigan here in the top of the 8th. Greg Pace Jr. strides to the plate. Turns to bunt. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike one. Pace 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. Squares to bunt again, keeps it out this time. It's a good one down the first base line. Christo fields it, and he's going to have no play. Throws it to first, but Pace Jr. was going to beat that out anyways. Perfect bunt as the table's set for the top of the Michigan order.
That's great speed on the base path as well. A capable player you can put in that scenario with the bunt because of his great hustle down the first base line. Look at him just beat Christo to that spot, and when he had only about 5 or 6 strides left to go, it was pretty clear that Pace was going to make it.
First and second, no outs, and Benny Casillas to the plate. Casillas turns to bunt, bunts it right back to the pitcher. Christo going to go one with it. It's high, can't get back on the bag. Base is loaded for the Wolverines with no outs.
Crucial mistake right there. That's something you don't see from Christo a lot. And now Michigan with a chance, 1-1 game with the bases loaded. Camden, this is tough.
See the replay here. It was right back to the pitcher, but just really high throw, and Brumbaugh didn't get back to the bag in time. O'Hearn's at third after he walked. Casillas is at first. He reached on the air. Christo's first pitch. Jeffress turns the bunt, bunts down the first base side, and again there's going to be no play. A run scores on another bunt single, this time from Braden Jeffress. Michigan has a 2-1 lead.
Camden, Michigan has scored a run in this inning, and I don't think the baseball off of a bat has gotten past the pitcher's mound.
Playing a little small ball, and it's working. First and second now with one out. Michigan with that 2-1 lead. There's perfectly placed bunts. First pitch to Mitch Voigt. In there for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Voigt, a tough day so far. 2 groundouts and a strikeout.
Yeah, we've been waiting on Voigt almost all series to really dominate the game for Michigan. Maybe he'll come through in a spot right here.
Strike 2 on the outside corner. Noah Miller waits on deck. Christo's 0-2. This is outside. Still can't give Voigt too good of a pitch here either, though. Has 12 home runs on the season, a .351 average. Popped up on the infield. In foul territory, Helixo sheds the mask and he puts it away. Big second out. Good play by Helixo. Those are always tricky. Staring into the sun with a tough spin. Out number 2.
Yeah, that's a really tough play from Helixo. I mean, he was holding on to his mask because I think for a few seconds he wasn't even sure if it was staying in the field of play to make a catch in foul territory. But you see, almost got over the top of his head and he still made the catch.
So 2 big outs. Casillas at second, Jeffress at first. Can Nebraska limit the damage to just 1? First pitch to Noah Miller. Strike on the outside corner. Miller 0 for 3 today. That one just missed outside. Helixo liked the spot. 2 flyouts and a ground out. Fouled away into the first base berm. Christo jumps ahead 1-2. Casillas at second. Jeffress at first. Both reached on bunts. Christo's 1-2. Again fouled out of play down the first base line. Good snag by a fan in the stands. Brought their glove. Perfect timing. Again, the 1-2. Some line back towards center field. Silva coming in, puts it away. 4 out, number 3. Christo limits the damage, but Michigan gets 1 run across on 2 hits. Now trailing by 1. 1 run for Michigan in the top of the 2nd. Nebraska answered with 1 in the bottom of the 7th, but Michigan retook the lead here in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Gabe Swanson. Strike on the inside corner for Will Rogers, who's back out there for his 2nd inning. Swanson hits this one well, but to the center fielder. That's Greg Pace Jr. arranges into right center field. Able to make the grab for out number 1.
And for Will Rogers, this is going to be an important bounce back inning for him. Started 2 straight outs in the 7th, but then a free pass and a defensive error and a single allowed to Josh Overbeek really put Nebraska in a position where they felt like they were ready to go and maybe win this one. We'll see what he's got his 2nd inning of work.
Sanderson takes strike 1. Sanderson 0 for 3. Struck out in the 2nd, flew out in foul territory in the 4th, and another fly out back in the 6th. Popped foul down the 3rd baseline. So it reaches the concourse. This part of the order for Nebraska, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, don't have a hit on the game. Sanderson had been having a good weekend too. He was 5 for 8 coming into today. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That's Sanderson in front of a 77-mile-per-hour changeup. Strikeout for Rogers, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, really impressive so far in the 8th. Just dropped right underneath the bat of Sanderson, and you can see he was not ready for that one. Really good pitch by Will Rogers.
See what Dylan Carey can do against someone other than Tate Carey. See if he can have more success against Rogers here. It's 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice and 2 flyouts. Swing and a miss. Rogers starting to miss bats. Devin Nunez waits in the on-deck circle. 0-1 rides inside on Carey, takes it for a ball, 1-1. Carey hits this one towards left center field. Pace giving chase, lays out, can't make the grab. And it trickles behind him. Good backup from Turner in left field, but Carey's going to end up at second with a 2-out double.
And that's a good job by Carey as well. Not watching that one fly. He knew it wasn't going to leave the yard when it went off his bat, so he made sure to hustle and make his way all the way to second. Great effort in center field by GPJ, making the dive to nearly come up with the catch. But that's a stand-up double with 2 outs. Nebraska's been decent with 2 outs today as a team, 4 of 11 now. But it's when they have runners in scoring position where Carey currently stands. You see 15 in white. As a team, just 1 of 7 with runners in scoring position here in Game 3. They need someone to come through.
Big moment for the freshman Devin Nunez. Takes the first pitch, strike, high and inside. Husker fans aren't too happy about that one, but it's 0-1.
I mean, it's really hard to believe that Nebraska, who has been playing from behind since the second inning, they've actually been the better offensive team today, but just haven't been able to string it together in the proper times to take the lead or at least tie it up for very long.
Blocked by the catcher, Miller. Keeps Carey from advancing at second. Nunez 0 for 2. Ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. That one rode inside on him. Somehow missed, 2-1. Voigt deep in the outfield grass at second. 2-1 pitch, misses outside. Hitters count for Nunez here. Can the late inning heroics continue?
You saw it yesterday. We've seen 3 walk-offs in just over a week and a half.
Nunez pops this one to left field, twisting foul into the Husker bullpen. Brings the count full.
And this will be maybe the most important pitch of the day from Will Rogers. If you can put Nunez and the inning away, send this game into the 9th, up 2-1, you're going to see him pretty hyped. But Nunez has already shown that he's been pretty patient at the plate today.
Dylan Viguse warming up in that Wolverines bullpen. 3-2 to Nunez. 2 away, Carey at second. 3-2 pitch. Misses just inside. Nunez takes ball 4. It's a 2-out walk, puts runners at first and second now for Cale Frost.
Gutsy take from Nunez right there. Kind of dropped in with that changeup, and you see it just kind of run inside and down. Trying to frame it back up was Noah Miller behind the plate, but just a tough miss by Will Rogers.
Now a big chance for Cale Frost. 0 for 2. Pop out and a ground out after pinch hitting. Back in the 5th inning for Robbie Bolin. First pitch to Frost. Bounces it to the right side. First baseman Ibarra fields it. Flips to first in time. And the threat is neutralized in the bottom of the 8th. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 Huskers left on base. 6 and 7 due up for the Wolverines here in the top of the ninth. That starts with Jeter Ibarra. Broderick's first pitch bounces in the dirt at 97. 1-0. Ibarra 1 for 2. Strikeout, a hit by pitch, and then a single back in the 7th. Average sits at 294. That one over the heart of the plate. Evens the count up. Broderick's 1-1, a big swing and a miss from Ibarra. He jumps ahead. Broderick's 1-2. Bounce fouled on the first baseline. Broderick's pitched 2 1/3 innings so far this series, 1 2/3 in game 1 and 2/3 of an inning in game 2 yesterday. He's 1-2. Missed maybe a little bit low on the outside corner. 2-2. 3 straight days of action for Luke Broderick. Two-two to Ibarra. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him at 96. First strikeout for Broderick, and leadoff batter retired in the 9th.
It's a good start for Luke Broderick. We'll take another look. This heater just got him upstairs and could not catch up to it. But you mentioned the consistency and the reliance for Nebraska of Luke Broderick as of late. I almost think it's important at this point in the year, heading into Big Ten tournament play. They're going to need him quite a bit, and so getting him used to some of these outings where he has to go out there and deliver some clutch work on the mound almost every other day, it's going to be key heading into the Big Ten tournament.
Cole Caruso lines one fouled on the third baseline. Just missed extra bases by a couple of inches. Set a loud strike one.
And that would have been just the 6th hit of the day for this Michigan team. And I just did the division. They average just under 10 hits per contest on the season. But today, they're at around half of that season average with just 5. And somehow they lead it 2-1.
Because of Cole Caruso's solo home run early. Helped out by a Husker error as well. 1-1 count to Caruso. Broderick's 1-1. Missed inside. Good spot from Broderick. A couple of more barks from that Husker dugout. Not real happy with the zone over the last couple of innings. Next pitch, that one crushed deep to left center field. And Cole Caruso watches it fly out of here. Second home run of the game for Caruso. And another insurance run for the Wolverines. It's 3-1.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter from Caruso. Right off the bat, he was making some gestures toward the Michigan dugout. And my goodness, what a swing. We got to take another look at this one. Just belted that one from Broderick, and that had no chance of staying in the yard.
1-0 in 8 2/3 of an inning pitched. Face Colby Turner here. First pitch misses outside. He's allowed 10 hits, 6 runs, all earned. Struck out 16 and walked 7. Next one bounces 2-0. That would mean 16 of the 26 outs that he's retired this season have been via the strikeout. Popped foul down the first base line as it will exit the ballpark. 2-1.
The distribution of hits for Michigan has been really interesting today. We've seen a double, 2 homers, 1 traditional single, and 2 bunts, and they somehow lead it.
Fouled back to the screen, 2-2. Whatever it takes.
I mean, if you take away Caruso's day, I'm not sure if Michigan has scored more than 1 run in this game. Been scratching and clawing to get up to this 3-1 advantage.
Clevenger's 2-2, again fouled out of play. As it ricochets down into a sweep. Took a fast bounce off the wall from that second deck just to our right. Again, the 2-2. Bounce towards Carey at short. Fields it, throws to first in plenty of time. Clevenger gets a ground out for out number 2.
Pretty decent fight against Clevenger right there, but a very important out defensively. Like we said, got to keep it 3-1 here if you're in Nebraska. And unfortunately, it will have to result in potentially a 4th walk-off within a span of 2 weeks. It's insane.
Pinch hitter in the game for Michigan, pinch hitting for Keegan O'Hearn. It's Joe Longo. Longo hitting 182. Does have a home run, 4 runs batted in. Takes first pitch below the knees, 1-0. Huskers will have 9, 1, and 2 due up in the bottom half of the 9th. Clevenger's 1-0 misses outside, 2-0. This one's hit well by Longo, but twisting foul. So it reaches the concourse down the third base line.
These Wolverines are barreling some of these pitches up late in this one. I think that could have left the yard if it stayed fair, but just hooked a little bit too far to the left as he was out in front right there for Joe Longo.
Clevenger's 2-1. Floats in there at 84, 2-2.
Almost looked like Longo was satisfied just kind of stepping away from that pitch. Didn't think it was going to land in the zone.
That one outside. Brings the count full now to Joe Longo. Husker faithful trying to will Clevenger to get this out. Payoff pitch. Bounced softly towards Carey at short. Fields throws out in time. Clevenger fired up, headed off the mound. Trying to will the offense for Nebraska as we head to the bottom of the 9th. 2 runs to tie, 3 for the win.
He's had quietly a pretty decent day. It's not something that's going to blow you away on a box score at the end of the day, but just based off of how this game has gone, he certainly has not been one of the main reasons Nebraska's been down.
Takes strike 1 at the knees, 92 miles per hour, 0-1.
He's gotten on twice, has a hit, scored after he drew a walk in the 7th. We'll see if he can continue to stay hot at the plate against Will Rogers, who really pitched pretty well in the 8th.
Like so, skies this one to center field. Greg Pace Jr. coming in, but the right fielder, Braden Jeffress, ends up calling him off and putting it out for out number 1.
Not necessarily what Haligzo was looking for, but did put it in play. I almost thought for a second that it was going to be one of those tough spots where second baseman Mitch Voigt was going to backtrack and have to make a decision whether to keep going or let Jeffress come in, but ended up hanging in the air enough for Jeffress to kind of calmly make the call off and make the catch as well.
Brings up Riley Silva in the top of Nebraska's order. Silva 1 for 4, singled in the 3rd. Silva turns to bunt, pulls back and takes the ball. 1-0. Josh Overbeek waits on deck. He's 3 for 4. Need to get a base runner on though. Trailing by 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Silva turns bunt again, takes the ball inside. 2-0. It's like 2 righties working in that Michigan bullpen out in right field. Rogers 2-0. Again, Silva tries to bunt, takes the ball inside. 3-0.
And outside of just clearly the scenario being down 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th, Silva's maybe one of the top guys you would like to get on base to work with because of his amazing speed and potential on that base path.
Rogers needs to come with a strike here. Ball 4. It's all 4 pitches inside to the lefty Silva. Huskers do have a base runner on, the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Josh Overbeek.
Silva has 1 hit on the day, but he's been on 3 separate times. Pretty active day for him. But like you said, Overbeek coming to the plate. Again, one of these bats that's carried Nebraska in this series, and he's done it all today. Double, couple of singles. He just hasn't come around to score. He's been stranded at second base 2 separate times because this Nebraska team, they have completely gone to pieces with runners in scoring position in Game 3.
Overbeek turns the bunt, takes the ball outside. At this point, the bunt throwing Rogers off a little bit.
That's 5 straight pitches out of the zone.
Double and 2 singles for Overbeek today. 1-0 pitch. Overbeek turns the butt, takes it low. 2-0. 1 away. Silva at first. Obviously good speed on the base path. Overbeek turns to butt, takes a strike on the inside half. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Overbeek behind a fastball. 2-2.
Yeah, Overbeek was trying to tie this game up with that huge hack. I don't know if he barely got any contact, but that was the type of swing that isn't going for a double or a single. That's leaving the yard if he can barrel it up.
Big pitch upcoming. Rogers 2-2. Strike 3 called on the inner half. It's Overbeek looking, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the 9th.
What a bounce back from Rogers after that quick discussion on the mound, just painting that bottom inside corner of the zone, and Overbeek just kind of leaned his head back out of frustration.
It's up to Caden Brumbaugh to extend the game. Tying run at the plate, but 2 outs. Brumbaugh 1 for 4. Singled back in the 6th. Time called. Looks like a ball made it onto the field from the bullpen. Delaying things momentarily. Now ready to go. Rogers' first pitch to Brumbaugh misses outside.
The one thing leaning in Nebraska's favor at this point in the game, they're 4 of 12 with 2 outs. That's a .333 average in this game. So they haven't fallen apart in their last out remaining. They've done pretty well.
Strike 1 on the outer half. Rogers starting to find that outside corner. Gabe Swanson waits on deck. Rogers 1-1, off-speed pitch floats in. Same spot, 1 and 2.
That's a beautiful pitch from Will Rogers right there. Felt like it took a year to come to the plate, but that's what you want with your off-speed sometimes. The disparity in the velocity can be really tricky at the plate.
1-2 pitch, hit towards center field. Greg Pace Jr. coming in for it, calls him off, and makes the grab for out number 3 in Michigan. Salvages the final game of the series, winning this one by a score of 3-1.